Oh my God. Okay, part B.
Yeah, we're on part B.
Can we? Editor's note: Part B begins here.
I probably won't. Like, I'm kind of digging the vibe of like, I'm always like, I can edit that out, and like, I'll edit random things, but I kind of like the whole like letting it flow kind of thing.
Oh, you can free ball with me.
Yeah,
Just.
free ball. I don't have balls, but I'll.
Well, that sounds really like. Um.
I'll free ball. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna free ball.
Everyone's got balls.
Mine are bigger than yours.
They are.
Yeah.
But I think it's weird that,
That
you
was
suddenly
toxic
have
masculinity coming from me. So, I'm sorry. I apologize. I just got baked. I'm sorry. Oh, man.
I think, what is it? At some point, I would love to talk about just everything.
We're going to, Stoner.
Oh, okay.
We're totally going
All
to.
right, all right.
But okay, so in this one, I really want to talk about the MTV, the dark side of the media. Okay, dark side of the media. So, and I'm not just like bagging on, you know, a certain person or a certain, you know, whatever. I just want to know, like, with all my conspiracies, I want to know the details of how they manipulated things. And it's not just MTV, it's all of the media manipulates.
Well, I don't.
So you tell me that story. Oh, yeah, I know that you're going to put it into this positive motion, and I should be positive, and that's good. But I really like to get into it. That I thrive on that shit. I'm like, come on, tell me the good stuff. Tell me the tea. I love how you're being really careful of the microphone as you cough.
The good stuff.
The good stuff.
Presented by Stores and Bickle.
They're really going to have to cut that. I'm going to shit myself and be like, what? I don't know what happened.
You definitely need to hashtag this video. Hashtag Stores and Bickle.
You're going to have to teach me about these
Stores and
hashtags.
Bickle.
Because I suck at the hashtag thing. I don't really know what they mean.
I don't.
I'm such an old lady.
I'm also an old lady in the body of an old man.
You know, I have to give you that. I think that is 100% true. That's why we're friends.
I'm really good at fooling people into thinking that I'm this like
a man,
one of a million things.
Yeah.
I'm just an old grandma stuck in the body of.
I dig it.
An extremely good-looking.
Oh.
Early 40s.
Okay.
Half Korean, quarter Irish, quarter English man.
Well, that was very thorough. That was very thorough.
Ah!
What are you dropping now? Oh, the microphone.
Look at what I did. Did it again.
Oops.
Oh my God.
Oops, I did it again.
That was so good.
That was perfect. That was perfect.
Oh. So
Okay.
yeah, so then I'm there, you know?
Uh-huh.
And that whole summer was just an amazing learning experience.
Good.
And I'm actually able to recall it more because I'm writing a memoir just on that short section of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because the more I write, the more I sit there and go, you know, this was a really like important moment. But I had like 40 to 1,000 moments.
Yeah.
That to me were much more important. They just weren't public.
Right.
And they were very, when I tell people about them, they were fascinating stories. Like, my lower middle class family paid bounty hunters to have me kidnapped, put on a plane, and sent to a military school.
Yeah.
Like,
that's some creepy shit.
With a lot of rich kids. That was some creepy shit.
That is creepy. But you're evading.
Oh, so then we went through. Oh, you wanted to talk about.
I want to talk about conspiracy theories. And they're not theories because they're real. So talk about it.
Okay, well, I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
So I'll just
tell me the story.
it.
Tell me the story.
So, all right. During the end of my tenure at MTV, it worked out to where they couldn't figure out how to fire me. I was getting positive press I was doing good things because they didn't have me working, because they kept grounding me.
Right.
And I couldn't really figure out why, because I wasn't always, I was a nice guy in the office. Like, I wasn't a stuck-up Hollywood type that you would see in, like, you know, a caricature of a celebrity that's like, I want this, I want that. Like,
Right.
I wasn't bossy, demanding, but I stood my ground.
Right.
If you wanted me to do something that I didn't want to do, I would literally just look at you and fuck you. I'm not doing that.
Right.
And
You know, I wonder if it has to do with the fact that you were not easy to manipulate.
well, and I saw what was going on,
See how I did there in the conspiracy theories? It's true.
and I didn't care for it because the audience was being shown such a small bit of me.
Right.
And I didn't like the fact that when I would encounter the audience in real life, they would all be shocked. Like, wait, you're not dressed like a total raver. And I'm like,
Yeah, that's because I'm not.
well, yeah. I'm like, well, you know, I went to raves. Like, I had some comfy clothes that I wore. I enjoyed it. I enjoy DJing, all this stuff.
Right.
But that's such a small sliver. And I'm 20 years old. I'm still discovering myself. Like, I've been in every phase you can think of. Like, from what? Dungeons and Dragons nerd,
Yeah.
to total speed reader.
Speed reader.
Speed reader. Hello.
That's a.
Hello.
Does that mean nerd?
Nerd. Right, but the best of the nerds.
That's true. Because I always tell my girls, I'm like, you know, you need to go for the nerds.
Yeah.
Go for the nerds.
But don't go for like the awkward, like weird nerds.
That's true.
Go for like the semi-awkward,
The smooth
cute,
ones.
weird nerd.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Because there is a difference in nerds. There are different categories.
Yeah, kids, you better be nice to all the nerds. The kids aren't going to watch this because we're
I
smoking
hope
weed.
not. We're smoking weed.
Yeah, but
you
tell your kids
if you're under the age of 5, please don't watch this.
under the age of 5. Might be a little bit older than that, but I'm sorry.
Hey.
Continue.
Hey. So, you know, with my show, it was because I was 20 and discovering myself, and I'd left a small town and hit a big city, and I still hadn't realized who I was, how I wanted to dress, who was I turning into as an adult.
Right.
You know, I knew who I wanted to be. And I figured this was a fresh start. So once the show started, and I found out after the first month that I could actually have a little bit of decisions, like, you know, input into what I'm wearing. I started exploring different clothing and letting my stylists know, who are amazing. Like, I want to try this look. I want to try that look. Like, can we make it happen? Like, I haven't found my style yet, you know?
Right.
So, you know, like there was one episode where I was told that I was dressed like I was black, and it turned into a huge issue. Wow. And luckily we were running out of time, and I hosted a live show. And I was the guy that got to go, sweet, fuck you.
Good.
And walk out on the stage, and boom. So I could make a stand, but it also didn't make me the most popular guy with the bosses.
Right.
Because they had a very, they knew what they wanted from me. Right. There was a specific look they wanted out of me, a specific audience, a specific group that I was supposed to pull in.
Right.
And that was not my target audience. And I didn't care. I'm just trying to figure out who I am. I thought it was a dope outfit. I'm going to wear the outfit. And I actually got to keep a pair of really cool Iversons because I wore that outfit. Because those Iversons were just, so amazing. Awesome. And then from there, we were starting to get into issues because I was getting really stressed out. I was fighting court stuff.
Right.
And I was now fighting for my job. Originally, when that show concept was brought to me and explained to me and we rehearsed it, the show was a very different concept. It was where kids would come on, compete against each other, and the winning kid that won against the other kids, like, got to host the show for a day. Right. They were the VJ for a day.
Gotcha.
Which was why the show was called VJ for a day. Ta-da! It all makes sense. And day one of going live, I've handed the script real quick so I can review it, which was, you know, I think any smart host does that. You review what you're supposed to be doing before you go on, whether you actually go by it or not.
Like this?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I don't go by any of this right now.
But you got to prepare it and then just
Right.
see where it goes out.
Right.
And
For
I
sure.
always liked having an intro and an outro prepared, so that someone could just give me the cue and my brain would just click into outro mode or
Right.
intro mode, commercial break mode. So those I like to have prepared on hand. So that was just, mechanical
Yeah.
instinct for me.
Right.
Point. But, all right, guys, we'll be back here in 30 seconds after this commercial break. Blah, 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 blah. Boom.
I need to
we
edit
come
that
back.
into where there's like a break and.
Ah!
I'm sorry. Continue.
Like, and
That's my thing. I always say, "I'm sorry." Continue.
and
I make stupid dad jokes, and I'm like, "I'm sorry." Continue.
mine is always, but no. Why did I just say no? I totally agree with you, but no.
But no.
Why did I just say no again?
I have no idea. Because we're baked.
So, like the head bosses weren't always fans of me. And I'd won a couple times and I'd gotten to the point where I asked, what's the point of this? Like, you're not going to beat me. I've hired my own publicist at this point. I have an album coming out.
Right.
I've actually received a little bit of training now. I have an established audience watching this show backing me. Have you not noticed that? Even though I'm winning by the slimmest of margins, I'm still winning.
Right.
And you're not going to get rid of me. I was like, if I have to hire 10 more publicists and just be bankrupt, like I'll do it. Like, I'm not leaving like this.
Yeah.
And at that point, they put me on the back burner immediately. I'd also asked if I could go to the Winter Music Conference, which was a big no-no. I'd pitched that idea as, why don't we go there? We'll find new contest kids.
Yeah.
We can just shoot VJ for a day remotely. It'll be cheap.
Right.
I was like, we don't need a huge set. We can do this. I've done on location. Like, we just need a few of y'all. We need casting to come out. This could be a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're taking it to the Winter Music Conference. Instead, I'm told I'm not going to the Winter Music Conference. I will not be hosting my show for a week. And I am now going to go home. And I will come back the next day to call in from the dressing room to tell the world I am at the Winter Music Conference and having the greatest day of my life.
And you weren't.
No, I
mean,
was having,
one.
I was having like the worst day of my life, being grounded, pulled off my show and being told, if I don't do this, I'm in a world of trouble.
So it was like like literally grounded, like when you were a freaking kid.
Yes.
Like you're not allowed to leave your dressing room.
Well, and think of how sad that was. Like, I'm in my dressing room watching someone else host my show.
Oh my God.
About me being fired. Like, what the hell? And then the funniest was a girl I was dating was one of the competitors. Like,
shut up.
One day,
that part I did not know.
Yeah. One day I go in to make my phone call and to pretend that I'm having the greatest time of my life. I'm in Miami right now. Like, yes. Like, and I look up and I hear this very familiar voice, like, my name is Maya, blah, blah. And I was just like, what the? Look up. And it's a girl I'd been dating for like a good 2 months.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I'm just like, oh my God. Oh my God.
That was a big F you.
Yeah. Like, this is fascinating and interesting. And
wow.
And people here definitely knew I was dating her. Like, what the hell? Yeah. And then I found out, at the end of the series, once I'd won all this, and all of that was a crazy experience. Like you and I had talked about it. When you have empathy, it's weird to win.
For sure.
It's the weirdest thing.
For sure.
And people that don't have tremendous levels of empathy will never understand that statement.
Right.
You can be highly competitive and have that spirit of a winner and still feel fucking miserable when you win.
I think that's why I never really was that competitive. I was competitive in Taekwondo when we were kids, but other than that, I wasn't competitive at anything. And it was like secretly I would be competitive. I'd be hoping that I would win or whatever, but I didn't really want to show that I was, the top dog or the underdog. I didn't want to be seen. I kind of wanted to just hide out. Yeah.
I had such alpha parents,
Mm-hmm.
Which is why they didn't work out in the long term.
Right.
But they were both very alphas.
Yeah.
And they always insisted on excellence, period. To where with me, it was always friends that I would let win. I've never beaten a friend at anything. So most of my friends think.
So we don't really know if we beat the shit out of each other. He's always like,
Right.
oh well, she used to beat the shit out of me. We don't really know. I mean, maybe he was letting me win. I don't know. We don't know that.
Or maybe we weren't friends.
Which could easily be the case. Or maybe we weren't friends at all. Maybe we were exact opposites and enemies, like villain. It's like a villain.
Yeah, and I'm still secretly just waiting to
I've wondered that.
Pop out in a Taekwondo uniform and be like, I challenge you.
Well, there's a couple times that I'm like, okay, here I am doing all my conspiracy theory stuff. And then here, yes, we've been friends for this, since we were kids. But here I am doing this whole conspiracy thing. And I'm like, oh, watch this. And this is what happens in the government, blah, blah, blah. And then here you are coming from like the media, which I talk shit about. So are you an undercover agent? This could be a possibility. They're like, you need to go and infiltrate this whole situation with Jamie Salazar and the whole mystic medium bullshit that needs to come down because she is going off on some shit that we need cut down. We're going to send in Ray Munns. I don't know. Are you still being paid by Viacom?
I need to leave.
On that note, mic drop.
I don't lie to friends.
Oh my God. You really dropped his mic. You really did it.
I can't get it back on.
You're sitting on it. Okay, there.
Oh.
Okay, I'm sorry. So funny. We have the best tangents though.
No, we do.
They're fun.
No, and then it was crazy on just how, as far as that show goes, I was just telling my old coworker, I felt horrible for the executive producer that was actually directly in charge of the show. Because on day one, I basically told her, fuck you, you're my number one enemy.
Right.
Like in this building, it's you versus me, and this is going to be hell for you.
Right.
Like, fuck you. I can't believe you're trying to get me fired. I found out once the show was done and over, she was the most fair human being in that building.
Wow.
And that the boss that I'd originally rejected for the ecstasy piece was the one who wanted me out the door.
Oh, wow. From that early on, probably.
Yes, from that very first.
Because you couldn't be manipulated. It was like, no, we want to perceive this as, this horrible, crazy thing with people, kids dropping
dead
right,
and overdoses everywhere.
And you're like, no, that's not the way that it really was.
Yeah.
So.
And kids acting a fool of themselves. And what? This could be, like I said before, that could be a 4.0 kid with a scholarship on his way to college that just got destroyed and thrown in the trash because that college admissions officer saw them on this show all wasted on whatever substance.
Right.
And it was like, ooh, yeah, let's.
Yeah, dial that back.
Yeah, no, none of that.
Yeah, no, I get you. Also, I mean, putting out the whole thing that's like a cool thing to do and having everybody follow you. So there's like good and bad to all of these parts. There's all kinds of moving parts to this.
Well, and then back to that EP, I found out at the end that those two had actually butted heads every time my job was actually on the line.
And it was the one that you thought was against you that was for you. Wow. Like
she fought battles for me and I had no clue.
Wow.
None. Like, and to this day, that's a bit of guilt. Like I carry because I shit on her. I genuinely made her life hell.
Right.
I would come into the meeting and literally just boom, kick my feet up on the table and be like, so how you guys planning on fucking me this week?
Wow.
And they'd just be like, every staff member, it would just be awkward. And I'd be like, all right, no one's going to tell me. Cool. Is it cool if I get the fuck out of this meeting? And then I would just
I can't even see you doing
walk right out.
That's crazy.
Well, it's because imagine, I was sold. I thought they were going to be my family.
Yeah.
Because when you watch them on TV, I had a different perception of the industry than what it really was. And they were all great people. Like there are a lot of people from there that I'm still in contact with and I love very much. Mm-hmm. But as a corporate entity, it was a different story. They had their own goals. They knew what they wanted. And even though the people kept voting for me,
Right.
and letting them know that that's who we want. I didn't fit the mold, and I was a wild card.
Yeah, you're definitely a wild card still, but I think that's a
Like,
great thing.
you know?
Yeah, but I mean, to them, I could see how that would be pretty scary.
Yeah. And like I found out that legally, every single one of those times they could cut off voting at like 15 minutes into the show,
Mm-hmm.
and they fulfilled their legal contract of how the winner is decided.
Right.
That EP that I was so horrible to made sure and fought tooth and nail that
Wow.
that voting went to the very last second. In every single one of those shows, I won by the most minute percentages,
Right.
to where the one who didn't like me would be screaming at her to shut off the voting line.
Mm-hmm.
He just lost. Shut it off. And she would constantly say no. Like,
Wow.
this is his biggest fight. Like, I'm not going to do him like
Yeah.
that. Like, we're going to make it fair. And he won the original contest in the last minute of the show.
Right.
He keeps winning at the last minute. That's his
Yeah.
best. Like, that's when he is at his best.
Yeah. Never underestimate the underdog.
Yeah. Like, we can't take his last minute away from him.
Oh.
Yeah. And to look back and to just think that, you know, the person in that building that fought the hardest for me never asked for gratitude, never told me, and dealt with me fucking treating her like shit the entire run of that show.
That's a huge lesson in life.
Yeah.
Yikes. That's pretty big.
You never know who your allies are,
Yeah.
you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, some of the biggest heroes will never tell you that they did that for you.
Yeah. I mean, why would they?
Yeah.
You know? It's pointless.
I mean, she could have told me and I would have said, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
You're the one who came up with the show. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I don't believe you.
That is intense.
But yeah.
And that's got to be pretty intense even now as a, like, I mean, you can see in your eyes.
Oh, it's that whole experience changed my entire life. And I've, you know, I am in therapy, everyone. Therapy is a great thing. I have a lot of PTSD from it.
Wow.
It made it so for a long time I couldn't go out in public. I couldn't go out in public during it. I couldn't go out in public after it. It was a scary world when everyone knows you and you don't know them.
I can see how that would be.
And then they have a perception of you that was created by your bosses and in little short bits of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like,
yeah, they could basically portray you as whoever they want.
Yeah. I mean, I had people come up to me and tell me like, hey, until I read this one article, I had no clue you were half Korean. Like, the fuck's wrong with you? Why wouldn't you rep us? And I was just like,
I wasn't allowed to.
I'm not allowed to, you know, like, at what point do you think they allowed me to just scream out, oh, by the way, I'm half Korean, guys. Like, don't forget. Like, no, like,
Wow.
I wasn't allowed to. I was like, it was a music channel. And they would remind me every time when I brought up anything about, can we discuss, you know, Korean heritage? Or what if I say this in this line? Like, can I have my outro as this? Or it's a Korean holiday today. Like, can we say something about it? No.
Not even like K-pop.
No, they wanted, yeah. And you know me. I've been following K-pop since like 96.
Yes, yes.
Like, it's sad. Because I'm a 41-year-old, very like, what am I, aggro? Am I an aggro male?
I have no idea.
I think I'm more like a Spicoli.
Oh my God, Spicoli. Okay, now that I get. I'm like, what's aggro? Okay, Spicoli, yeah, I get.
With a bit of Brad Pitt from, was that movie Seven?
I hope
What's
not.
in the box?
Wow. No, I hope not. Oh.
What's in the box?
Oh my God. Somebody please get him into the movies once again. You'd be a good villain. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
You'd be a good villain.
I would be.
Yeah. Because
And
you like, it's always like Jim Carrey. Like the nice guy, you think they're like these nice guys and shit, and they're like very calm and kind of, you know, it's weird when you're quiet.
Well, I thought it was just because I was extremely handsome.
Okay.
I'll go with what she said.
That's it too.
Breaking the fourth wall.
It's also because he's extremely handsome. Ladies, take note.
And
Weren't you
very humble.
Didn't you tell me something? Now, I don't remember this, okay, because like I said, you're like my brother. But weren't you like the most eligible bachelor at some point or something like that? As you take a big rip. Most eligible fucking bachelor. Ooh. Most eligible bachelor. There you go, ladies. Take it all in. Okay, once again, hold on. Let me get this. I love that you can just sit there and I wish I could just sit here and puff a joint the whole time. I just can't. I wouldn't know what my name was by the end of the show.
I just died and was reincarnated as a really cooler version of myself.
Like Keanu Reeves.
It's pretty dope.
And most eligible bachelor. So tell me about that. Is it? Weren't you on?
Oh, and that was actually hilarious because the majority of my coworkers did not congratulate me.
Really?
Which was kind of effed up.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about like the VJs.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like the people behind the scenes with the power.
Really?
Like, because when they originally did that, they did me and 2 other VJs.
Uh-huh.
And did photo shoots and everything. And we were not allowed to discuss the fact that we even did the photo shoots. Or we would be disqualified. And once we were informed that we'd made the list, we were not allowed to say that we were on the list, or we would be kicked off the list.
Right.
And that's because at the time, that was one of People Magazine's like biggest selling issues.
Right.
Was their top 50 eligible bachelors list.
Right.
The top 5 were always like Brad Pitt, George Clooney, like, it was like, the same dudes. And that year they decided they wanted someone from MTV because they felt as though that 2001 was like the beginning of like the real like peak of TRL and MTV. Right. They originally wanted Carson, but Carson at the time was engaged. So he was automatically disqualified.
Ineligible.
Yeah, he was not an eligible bachelor anymore,
Right.
So it was me, 2 other dudes. I'm pretty sure it was Brian and KK. And we were all cool with each other once it was informed. Right. But when I let the publicist know, she was so pissed. When I let that, when the bosses found out, some were happy.
Right.
But when I dropped into the one who didn't like me and was just like, hey, you see what I did? Like, I got that look of just like, oh, I hate you.
I hate you so much.
Yeah, and I definitely did not realize that he was like the top dog. Huh. Or I probably would have been like, a little less.
A little less
you. Hey,
a little less you.
Let me throw it in your face that you hate me and I am doing well.
Thank God you didn't know, because then it wouldn't have been authentic.
You are correct.
Right.
Because I think once the industry itself can be addicting.
Right.
And I've noticed that just with the random people I would know. And some people have asked me if that's why I would want to get back into it, like the feeling of power.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I just think it would be fun to be able to benefit other people.
Yeah.
And to be of service. Like
Well, there's always gonna be an entertainment industry.
Yes.
Right. There's always gonna be. So why not have the good guys on there and not the assholes?
Yeah, like,
Right.
And I'm not that talented, but
I think you're talented.
I'm extremely good looking.
Oh God. Here we go again. Oh my God.
It's cool. I don't think I'm really that good looking, like to add the word extremely in front.
Sure. This is what I have to deal with, folks. This is what I have to deal with. But I love it. I love it.
And it was hilarious because when I got that, I was like the youngest dude to make the list. They had this like, of all the pictures they took, because they took like 3 or 4 different setups. They went with one where I'm wearing a tank top and I've never had like huge guns or anything, right? So they have me in a tank top, and they have me sitting like at this table like this, like with a soda pop, and like the straw is like in
I don't think
my
I've ever
mouth,
seen
and I'm
that.
just like like smiling.
Yeah,
Like
I don't think I've ever seen that picture.
my mother framed it for me. I'll have to show you. It's at the
Nice.
house in my closet.
In your closet.
And she's like, "Why don't you have that out?" And I'm like, I love it, and it's a funny story, but it was 20 years ago, Ma.
Right.
Like,
Keep
who
it in the
cares?
closet.
Unless, ladies come over, and then I'm like, would you mind grabbing me a shirt from my closet?
Oh
And
my
it just
God.
happens to be right
And then
there.
you push them in.
I'm
I'm just kidding.
I start putting that lotion on. Lock it. Sorry, I couldn't afford to dig a hole.
Oh shit.
Excavation equipment's really expensive these days.
Oh my God.
It's not
As long
like the
as you
early
don't have
90s.
lampshades made of skin, and I think okay. You're dancing around. You could borrow my kimono. Is that what this is called? I don't know. You called it a hippie. What did we call it earlier?
Is that called the Ashley?
What's the Ashley?
I don't know if we should discuss that on video.
Holy shit. Everybody that's watching this is gonna be like, what the fuck are their inside jokes? Like, I don't.
Silence of the
really
Lambs, y'all. Okay.
I mean, yes. Yeah. Anyway. We're totally talking about Silence of the Lambs and not his personal life. Fine.
I go home after this video airs. I'm like,
wait.
who's knocking on my door? Open it. Loveland Police.
Loveland Police. I don't think it's gonna be Loveland Police.
We saw your video. Where's Ashley? Who the fuck's Ashley? What?
Who the fuck is Ashley? Oh my God.
Oh God.
Wow. Okay. So, what were we talking about?
Oh yeah. So I made the bachelor's list, and this was
Yes.
amazing because, all right, imagine being 21, just making like the most eligible bachelor's list. In my brain, I am thinking like, I am not going to be a bachelor anymore really soon. Like, period. This is
Right.
huge.
What
The
do I
only
think?
people that saw it and thought it was really cool was everyone's mom, including mine.
Everyone's mom.
So I would have a bunch of moms coming up and telling me how cute I am. And I was
oh
like,
God, and you're like, that's not really what I was going for. Thank
yeah.
you.
And then they had like a party for all the bachelors, like where we all attended, like, to like celebrate
That's
us
really
making
sad
the
now that you-
magazine.
Now that you made it seem like that, it makes it seem like from now on, I'm never going to think of the most eligible bachelors, like these hot, sexy men. Now I'm going to think of them as like, oh, they're the nerds that can't get girls.
Yes. And then I was even informed like
really
of like
sad.
the curse of it. And they're like, we hope you don't get hit with it. And I was
There's a
like,
curse?
what do you mean? And they're like,
Never mind.
there are guys on here that make the list
And never get off of it.
Yeah, and they just don't get off. And then they even joked around like, look at George. And for
my
George
God.
Clooney,
Yeah.
because, they were like, he's a very real, like authentic dude. And he keeps thinking he's finding love. And then it just doesn't work out. And he makes our list again because he's sexy, he's successful, he's authentic, he's nice. Like, yeah.
Oh,
And I'm just like,
I don't know about that.
I could make the list again? That's pretty cool.
In a way, I'm so glad, and this sounds fucked up, and I don't mean it to sound fucked up, but I'm so glad that you didn't get too deep into it because it wouldn't have been you anymore. Like, I like the whole Ray, like you've always been the same Ray to me.
What a weird time to tell the world that you think I'm extremely good looking.
God. Holy shit. Oh my God. Girls, ladies, please. You're going to want to take a deep breath. And yes, please, somebody make him not single. But then he won't be quiet about it. So then that would be good.
Oh, well, and I'm talking to a really cool chick. So
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So,
So things are working out well.
Yes.
You have finally, hopefully, maybe gotten off the eligible bachelor list
Right, yeah.
at 41.
Well, I'm at that point where it's like, no expectations.
Good.
Which leads to no disappointments.
Right.
And everything's just fun and amazing. And I just,
Slow.
well, not just that, I appreciate the time I spend with her.
Good. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good.
And it's a very like even like reciprocal like exchange of time and energy.
Yeah,
Like, and it's a trip.
that's good.
Yeah, it's a trip.
It's a trip.
It's a
Because
trip.
are you used to like women always like, you know, especially back in the MTV days, are you used to women always expecting that you'll take care of everything?
Well, even before that,
Huh.
I've just always been that guy.
That just took care of everything.
Everything.
Right.
Like, so
Yeah.
I've always been that guy. And I've always, in relationships, tended to have more patience than my partner and more forgiveness. So if anything would happen, I would just chalk it up as, oh, whatever, cool.
Hmm.
And so I would put up with things other people wouldn't. And now as an adult, I'm setting healthy boundaries, like,
Right.
and just also considering what my partner is thinking or how they might react to what I say.
Right.
And being very thoughtful with the words I use, and if I can't adequately describe my feelings, letting them know I wish I could adequately describe what I'm feeling right
Right.
now, but you know, I can tell you this much, and this is why, and
Right.
yeah,
Well, that's a whole learning process too, to like, especially as an empath. I just like, I expect, and I know that you do this too. You expect that other people understand how you feel
yes,
because you do.
yes,
You know what I mean?
and it's
so,
frustrating when they think I don't understand them, when I'm like, no, like I get it.
yeah.
Like I genuinely have been there and I've experienced it and I feel it.
Right.
Like I can feel your frustration at me even right now for thinking that I know how you feel and you believing that I don't know how I feel. And no one
Right.
wants to be told that. And I'm still working, you know, on my maturity levels as someone with a high level of empathy and learning to just shut the hell up and listen. Because I feel as though 9 out of 10 people are really craving someone who will just give them validation to their experiences. And the easiest way to do that is to just listen and
Right.
yeah, and to take notes in your brain and remember like this is where that person came from.
Right.
Like that's their story.
Right.
You know, like it might be boring, but it's important to them.
Of course. And everybody's got their own perspective and their own path. And there's, now I have the gnats.
Yes.
Anyways, their own perspective and their own path. And I forgot where I was going with that. And it was really cool.
When
Now I forgot.
it's messed up because seeing that gnat made me want to slap the gnat, and it would have been really funny because I would have saved you.
You would have slapped me.
Stop. It's all about perception. I was
I was saving you
from the gnat.
and I slapped you. Jeez, my goodness. Okay, so what are you doing now? And do you want to talk about your book? Because I know that you had a book, and I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Oh
or not.
God. Wow.
I would love to talk about that because that goes into what we are talking about.
So, all right. So I wrote a book with another guy, Jacob Pacino. Yeah. I used to.
I have it down right here, and I was like, I can't remember it, and I was gonna look, and I'm like, shit, where did I put it? Jacob Pacino.
And we tried to write the simplest, easiest to follow directions
Right.
on just growing top shelf weed on a budget. Because it's so easy to just get lost in the world of retail therapy and there's always newer, cooler stuff coming out. But there's also like the cost effective stuff that you can get. You'll get just as good of flowers. And if you're not doing it commercially, why not do it on the low and get the most expensive, high quality flowers you can get?
No doubt. That saves a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you're getting better stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
So we wrote it with that goal and that intent, and we've been getting positive feedback on it. The publisher has a friend who actually tried the methods and was like, yeah, it worked. Like, dude had no clue what he was doing, read it, did it, it's fine. Like, he's happy with the outcome. And I'm like, yes, because only an idiot could screw up what we wrote in there.
God, you know, I am trying to keep my houseplants alive, and so far I'm doing decently well. But I would never know how to cultivate and grow weed.
Kids, go to Amazon and pick up Growth. The secrets.
The secrets?
I
No,
believe
the free secrets from our garden.
No, yeah, whatever.
Wait, okay, it's called, hold on, I've got it written down. Since, see, I don't know what my show's called. You don't even know what your book
Well,
is
I
called.
always call it just growth. And everyone's like, you know,
The
it's,
Basics from Our Garden.
oh, you're
From.
right.
I was like,
From.
no, it's from. I know
From
it is.
the
And
basics.
I had it right there.
I just call it growth. I like growth better.
I like growth.
But
Because it could mean so much more than just weed.
it does. But my
Yeah.
publisher does not, because this needs to be very specific to weed in the title of the book.
I
I was just like, you mean growth?
You mean
I
growth
feel like a
for
life
all of
coach
us?
saying this.
I think that's great. So people can get this on Amazon.
For $4.99.
That's really cheap.
We made it cheap.
Yeah. Is it on like Kindle or?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's on all the ebook platforms.
Perfect.
And we just wanted to make it super cheap and accessible, especially with other states getting medical and recreational on board.
Right. I can't wait till it goes federal.
Yes.
We need to hurry up on that because come on.
It's so lame.
It's just about
Like
money and power at this point.
the drug war
let it
itself
go.
is
Let
just,
it go.
yeah, it's so
Yeah.
lame.
I agree.
There are better things we could be spending our money on. And if people are addicted and hurting themselves, they need treatment. They need freaking,
Agreed.
you know, help getting into a stable situation.
Yeah. Sure.
Whether that means job training, like a small stipend so they can figure things out. Great. It's better than having them go homeless or die or
True.
steal or commit other crimes. Like, but
See,
there's
I'm
so
like-
many programs.
I want to do, and I so badly, and someday I'm going to do it. I'm telling you, I'm going to do it. I want that healing center, especially aimed at people with PTSD and families of PTSD. And I want, but I mean, things have to be legalized, you know, before, I mean, weed, of course, will be there. But it like yoga and being outdoors and working with shaman and, you know what I mean? Doing the psychedelics. That's what I want. I mean, shit. Are you okay?
Wow, what a
What is
trip.
it? Like ayahuasca. Ayahuasca, I've never done that. I'm scared shitless of that. So there's that. But I know that it has been shown to completely cure people of their heroin addiction, like in one journey. So I want
Yeah.
that. I want that. I want real healing for people. And I think what that's going to take, of course, there's going to be, you know, have to be like therapists and things like that. But I think it's like we need to be our own therapist. And I can't be my own therapist just, you know, in this conscious state. It almost has to go into this deeper level. And the only way to do that is through psychedelics. I mean, I'm sure there's other ways to do that too. There's like Wim Hof and, you know, so that's like the only way. I'm just saying that's a pretty damn good way.
I do it through intense masturbation.
Oh, God.
I'm kidding. Like, dear Lord.
Way to fuck up the cut.
You're all great. You just gave me PTSD. What the hell?
Come on, wait, what? We're definitely going to put the 18 and over. You're the only ones allowed to watch this.
I'm like, because when the arm really just starts to hurt, that's when your mind just becomes one with the universe.
Well, I don't know about that, but I'm all for, and I like that's probably not a good, like, because I'm like doing this, like, I'm like, wait, I should, like, that's wonderful.
Oh God, I'm so kidding. I'm so kidding. Like, although they will perceive that I am not.
Well,
And,
you know, I know that you're kidding.
and that could just be an amazing, like, new, like, you know, internet philosophy.
Well, that would be creepy.
What would it be? Hold on. What would it be though? Like, hold on.
Digging deep into your soul and your pants. I don't know.
All right, I'm thinking more like. Wait, no, I don't even want to think about this anymore.
Oh my God. Holy hell.
I don't want it to accidentally become a thing.
Yeah, it probably shouldn't become a thing. So we're just going to leave that one alone. Oh my God. Okay, so what's next for Ray?
Oh God. I'm doing the whole, so I'm writing a lot. Whoa.
What?
What a trip. Okay.
Are you seeing things?
No, for a hot second, I thought I saw someone in your door and then that they walked away.
You know, it could have been because you are in the household of a mystic medium.
Oh, but yeah, so that was a trip.
I mean,
Um,
it'd be your own mysticism, but that's exciting.
Right.
Maybe I have created a wonderful environment for everyone to become the mystic medium, but not me. But you know.
but yeah, so and I'm just buckling down on just everything right now. And it sounds weird because everyone is like, you need to get a laser focus. And I had a good talk about this with my mom, who actually knows me better than anyone else.
Right.
She created this mess. She taught this mess Korean, English, got me into everything
Right.
from martial arts to just arts. It's all music. It's all my mom. And my dad was the guy who silently financed it.
Right.
You know?
You have great parents.
Yeah.
You have great parents.
And I keep telling my mom, you know, I'm trying to do this laser focus. And she laughed at me and was like, "Are you kidding?" And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "That's not who you are." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she was like, "There are times you'll get that laser focus. But in general, no. You've always succeeded because you give your love to quite a few little things. And then you'll intensely go after one and then pause. And then you take a break and you intensely go after the other one. But everything is still being nurtured, you know?"
Right.
And she was like, "Instead of listening to all your close friends and your mentors who don't know you like me, just go back to that and quit caring so much." And that's why I'm now adopting an attitude of I can love my neighbor. I can love everyone. I don't have to care though.
Right.
And it hurts to even admit that. And I told you earlier, and I don't think I said it on the show, but it always hurt on the show knowing, and it's something I've had to deal with, and I go to therapy over it, that every time I kept my job, I destroyed someone else's dreams. That when I got my job, I destroyed a lot of dreams. And at first it was easy because I needed the money and I looked at it as I deserve this. The universe is gifting me this right now because it agrees I deserve this. But then it got to a point where it's like, how can I possibly deserve this so many times? Other people deserve this feeling.
Yeah, you're feeling guilty.
Other people deserve this. You know, it's not just me. People here want me fired. And I keep winning. And I'm winning. These days, I'm just winning so I can say, fuck you to them.
Right.
Like, this isn't how you're going to get rid of me. Like,
yeah.
So even my heart was in it by the end. At that point, it didn't turn into it wasn't the happy, joyful thing that I wanted it to be. In the end, it was me against a couple powerful people there that I didn't recognize were my bosses, and I did not give them the respect they deserved. I can admit to that.
Right.
But at the same time, they didn't treat me like a human being. And you know me, like, I'm very reciprocal. Like, if
Right.
I feel respect from you, I will respect you. If I feel as though you're judging me, I used to care, but now I don't. I'm very quickly adopting the I don't care, which my therapist loves, my mother loves, and I'm just doing me, and I'm happy and I'm thriving. In real estate, I have clients contacting me now, so I'm working on advertising so more people get it.
Right.
I'm licensed in 2 states for a reason, guys.
Right. What are those states?
Oh, Colorado and Nevada. So call me.
Yeah.
I've worked on bigger business deals than many people know, but I've always been the guy that I always joke around that, you know, with the Lil Wayne line, real G's, or what is it? Real G's move in silence like lasagna. It's the greatest line.
I've never heard that.
Lil Wayne just yeah, he
That's
puts out
awesome.
so many lines where I'm just like, like, and that's one of them. And I've always just everything just feels like bragging to me. But then I looked at my resume that I had a professional write for me, and I was like, wow, no wonder I get the interviews I get. Like, I've done some shit. I just don't like to talk about it because I don't want people to judge me by successes or failures. I want them to judge me by who I am. And I think society has it a little twisted where they judge by your successes and failures and not by how you react to them and how you behave after them, with them, and through them.
That's an amazing way of thinking of that. I love that.
You know, because
Yeah,
all of us succeed and fail.
absolutely.
And it's not just that whole adage of it's he who gets up again, blah, blah, blah. And as
Right.
true as that type of stuff is, there's so much more to it.
There's a lot of middle ground there.
Yeah. And yeah, like you said, you're not very competitive, which means you've let a lot of people win, which also means, you know, there are some that could have perceived you as a failure at that point. But the ones who
True.
really knew you knew, oh, that's her. She's doing her thing.
Right.
Like, we're not going to question it. It makes her happy.
Right.
Like, go her.
Right.
She just made someone's day and it made her day. And then that weirdo over there can't believe what's going on and thinks it's weird. And we're just go her.
Oh, that's a sweet
You know?
way of looking at it.
Yeah.
I
So,
like that. I'm gonna adopt that.
and it's a trip. Like I'm stoned, so I'm rambling a little bit.
No,
I
I love it.
apologize.
No, I love it. I love stoned ramblings. That's what this whole show's about.
Well, because I've just encountered so many people, and me and the old MTV buddy were talking about it because I was like, it reminds me of the Celestine prophecy, which is something that I always tried to just go by.
Mhm.
I thought it was not a well-written book, but that the point of the book was just, it hit me when I was a kid. And that is whenever you make eye contact with someone, that's the universe saying you two should meet.
Hmm.
So say hello, smile, do whatever. But if you randomly make eye contact, why?
Yeah.
And why not?
Yeah.
Why can't it be the universe saying you two are supposed to interact?
Like the Yes Man, the movie Yes
Yeah.
Man. That's cool. I like
So I've lived by that, and these days I'm being more true to it, being more open to it, and it's a trip. You know this, and it's very personal. It's the first time I've put my well-being and my happiness first. I'm
Right.
so used to just having mine in the back seat, and I've focused very much on others.
Right.
Obviously, you guys aren't too well aware of this, but I am a caregiver for my super senior awesome father.
He is pretty damn awesome.
But I've had no choice at this point, and it's just been an amazing experience. I'm meeting people with interactions like right now. I've met someone who is always questioning why I don't get upset or why I'm not mad at certain things.
Right.
Like, and I always let her know, like, hey, I met you like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can sit here and wish that things are X, Y, Z, and then be annoyed if they don't go that way.
Yeah.
Or I can just enjoy the time I have with you, enjoy the fact that we've met, and just go with it and just see where it takes us. Is it a risk? Yeah, but there's a risk with everything.
Absolutely.
And when especially once you meet those people and you're able to decide that, hey, this is worth the risk, it's worth, just diving in. And
Yeah. And just knowing everything's going to be okay. Just like you did with the
Yeah.
MTV thing. Like you didn't know how you were going to do it. You just knew you were going to do it.
yeah, and it's cool because I've hit that first time where I'm just like, I'm so just into it now.
Yeah.
And by it, I mean the I don't care. Like
Yeah.
this will work out how it works out.
And not like we were talking about earlier, not a shitty way of saying I don't care, but like a genuine, like I'm just going to let things fucking roll off my shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I'm just going to be happy about whatever happens because
Yes.
whatever experience comes to you is what it, is
and,
what
and,
I created to get me to the next point that I know is going to happen.
and thankful for it.
Right.
Gratitude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never in my 40 years, I believe I've always showed my gratitude towards friends, people, everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I've felt gratitude towards many for many periods, but I've never lived my life by the theory of just be thankful.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the big change that's happening with me now that's how I'm living my life. So instead of being thankful for being here, for having
Yeah.
you know you as a friend, I'm literally thankful for it all. I'm
Perfect.
thankful for the coffee I spilled on my shorts. Why? Made me laugh.
Right.
Like, I'm thankful that my voice is scratchy right now. Why?
Because he sounds awesome. He's a nerd. I told you.
Because it sounds really sexy. I mean, can you hear this? I'm just saying.
I hope they can,
It's-
or else they're already muted. Like, I'm done with this fucking.
No, they love this right now.
Oh my God.
Hey, y'all. I know you can see me and I'm fully clothed, but if you want, I'll just move my leg a little bit and you can like imagine you can see things.
Yikes. Now that's like a different, that's like the opposite of like
Me talking into the mic.
thinking that the audience is naked. Like now they have to pretend that you are
Yeah, I'm like,
just to watch you.
it's all right, ladies. I give you permission.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Holy hell.
I'm like, guys, you can look too.
Oh,
It's
shit.
all good. Like,
I mean, hey, if they like,
I mean, if they're
they
into
like
it.
the goods,
Yeah, I mean,
whatever.
yeah,
Raise down for whatever.
I mean, whatever.
Oh my goodness. I absolutely adore you. You're one of my best friends. I think that you are just fucking fantastic.
You are like literally one of my crazy ass sisters that I love to
Yeah.
death.
And we're complete opposites on almost everything. But it's like we can come together with the little things, and we I think it's this. We agree on everything. We just have different ways of getting there. And my way is one way, and your way is like, and then we disagree on the ways that we're trying to get there.
Yes.
That's it. But like when it comes down to everything else, we want the same outcome.
Yes. Well, and my mom
Did that
puts
make
it as
any
this.
sense, or was that a stone rant?
My mom puts it as you'll come across people that are very different from you. They present themselves differently. They live differently. They have different point of views politically,
Right.
medically, anything.
Right.
But when they're good people, they're good people.
Right.
And you don't shit on good people. And if they're in your life and you love them and they're your friends,
Right.
just be good to each other.
Right.
And if you argue about those things, if you want to occasionally be dumb and you guys argue about it, do it. Just always make sure you make up and do it with respect.
Yeah. We've gotten into our fair share of fights.
Oh, yes.
And they're not really fights. They're more like, oh, this guy's a fucking asshole. And you're like, oh, she's so stupid. She's such a bitch.
Yeah, well,
and then we just don't talk for like a couple weeks. And then it's like, hey, how's it going? You want to come over? You want to hang out?
Well, and I mean, fine, I concede. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You're better looking than me.
Thank you.
I know it's been a long running argument, but.
You know, the polls are still out. Oh my God. Just don't use Dominion voting system.
Oh my God. Why? You went there.
How do you know that? It's just so funny. It's so funny.
No, and I apologize for all my obviously amazing on camera flirting with the audience, because totally into one chick, and that's just like where I'm at.
That's good.
Yes. And that one chick could be
He may
you.
be taken. Wow. I hope she's watching this. And
Hell no. She won't
know
watch
about
this.
this.
I hope she don't watch this.
She's gonna watch.
She's not gonna
I'm
watch
gonna
this. Oh dear God, I'll
Should
be
I
sharing
say
this
her
too.
name? No,
So
I
it'll
won't
just be
say her
funny.
name. Okay. Anyway, so I want to do this again at some point because we had a lot of fun.
Oh, can we do this all the time and just
We
talk
can.
about anything?
We totally can. And
Like,
you're gonna have to teach me how to just sit here and puff on a joint and just like be able to chill instead of sitting here and puffing on a joint and like freak the fuck out after 5 minutes.
wow.
I don't know how that happens. I mean, I do, but
yeah, it's because you're high.
yeah, I know. Why do I just like lose it after a certain point? I'm like, why is it? Why most people? I want to know about that. The endocannabinoid system. Does it have to do with like how many receptors are there, or something weird? Like, why does one person take one puff and lose their mind, and another person can smoke a whole joint and like be chill?
I think it's tolerance levels.
Okay, well,
Like if I quit smoking for a month,
I disagree.
I can take one hit and I'm like, woo!
Well, I mean, okay, I agree to a certain point, but I've been a one hitter and maybe two, for fucking years.
Wow.
Why
Although
is that?
I do get pretty high off of one hit though.
Yeah, like why? So what makes you want to keep going? See, there's that. Okay,
I'll tell you what makes me want to keep going. The warrior spirit.
The warrior spirit. The warrior spirit has gotten him like, I gotta keep on puffing on this shit.
Yeah.
You gotta keep on keeping on.
Healthy dose of toxic masculinity.
Oh my God.
But
That's
just
so
a
funny.
healthy dose, not a big dose.
Okay, I'll work on that. I'll work on that. Healthy dose of masculinity.
You know, I.
Wow. Okay, so do you want to take us out into that? You want to?
Oh, do I do an outro?
You do an outro. Do you know what my outro line is?
No, what
Do
is
you
your
remember?
outro line? Do we have a script here?
Welcome to your ascension creator.
Wait, what?
Welcome to your ascension creator.
To your ascension creator?
Yeah. Welcome to your ascension, creator. Like you're a creator. They're creators, right?
Oh, okay.
We just talked about manifestation.
Wait, hold on.
Okay, here we go.
Let me.
You let me start being awkward. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna just calm. I'll be over here.
Welcome to your ascension. Okay. Hold on.
Okay, go.
Do I do a cheesy game show voice like? And welcome to your ascension, creators. That worked, right?
Oh my God. Holy hell! I love you, Ray.
Oh.